Let's take a look at what's going on with Dogecoin. Okay, so yesterday's video, we were watching this bottom right here where well, before that we had a rising wedge or rising triangle, and we broke that triangle going to the downside, or we broke it going sideways. After we broke it, we kind of found support right here, got a bounce to the upside, and then started coming down, and we actually broke through that support yesterday. So after we break a trend, usually what I like to do is watch the top and then watch the bottom. And then if it breaks the bottom, then usually it's another signal that we might be going to the downside or be going down more. Right here we broke below it, and actually we closed this candle red below that line right there, and then we also got another red candle, which was making me think that we were going to go down lower. But we found support on the next candle, started going green, and now we're pushing to the upside. So I wasn't correct on it going down further, at least not yet anyways. But so what I want to do now is readjust this line, something like this, because we have support on that and we have support right there. Let's see, something like this. So technically, I mean, it kind of looks like a widening channel going to the downside, an ascending widening channel. I think that's what it's called, something like that. And so yeah, now we're looking at this downtrend like this, and then this downtrend like that, but it is getting wider, it seems like. So basically a channel pattern, and we're getting lower highs and lower lows. So technically we are in a downtrend. Let's see how long we bounce in between these two trend lines. The other thing though is we do have support right here, and we do have support right here. Let's go ahead and draw another line, because technically we are trending up in this little smaller time frame. If we break this trend right here, if we break this little trend line going to the downside, then we might come down and hit that bottom line again. The other thing though, this is on the 4-hour time frame. The other thing though that I noticed is we're going to switch over to the daily time frame, and this line that I was watching, actually, let's go ahead and readjust it to where we were. It was something like this. Like let's go back to the 4-hour real quick, because I was watching this bottom right here, basically a straight line where we got that support right here, and then it got a bounce and then came down. We got a little bit of support, but then we broke it. But when I wanted to show you what I was looking at is the daily time frame, and when we look at it like this, we're kind of still holding support on that bottom right there. Let's go ahead and delete this one. Let's go ahead and delete this one. Delete, something like that. Okay, so we're still holding support on that line right there on the daily time frame. And the other thing that I talked about a couple days ago is the daily 9 moving average. So let's zoom out a little bit. We have the 9 moving average, which is this blue line right here, something like this. And basically when we are below it, it's in a bad position, and when we are above it, then it's a possible good position, or it usually is a good position. That's like sometimes when we break above it, then we get support on the 9 moving average and push to the upside. When we break below it, then we get resistance on it and get pushed to the downside. So the other day I was talking about how right here we broke above the daily 9 moving average, which was a good sign, and then we broke below it. We didn't break below it that bad though. We actually it looks like, my point is it looks like we're kind of holding support right here. If we get this 9 moving average, something like this, it kind of looks like we're holding support at that area. So this might be a good sign. I'm not really promising anything, but for right now, it does kind of look like we're holding support in this area, should I say. It's hard to tell right now if we're above it or below it. I think we might be below it on this candle right here, but yeah, it does kind of look like we're hanging out around that 9 moving average. If we can really find support on that 9 moving average, start bouncing on it and push to the upside, then maybe we can finally break the resistance on this falling wedge pattern that I've been watching on the daily time frame. All we have to do is just break this resistance right here, going to the upside, and then maybe we could start getting bullish again and start targeting the Fibonacci retracement levels going up at least, or even possibly the top of the target. It seems like the volume is really low right now though. Like if you look at the volume, we like even right here, the volume is like super low as we're like going up. So yeah, I'm not, it's kind of confusing right now, honestly, but this is the pattern that I'm looking at right now, is that falling wedge pattern. What I'm waiting for, what I've been waiting for, is to break that resistance going to the upside, and then we can start getting a little more bullish. And like I talked about, I keep talking about, last year we had a falling wedge pattern as well back here, and we broke that resistance, but it took us a while before, like it took all these candles before we really started pushing to the upside. We had to go sideways for a while, is my point. So we might even break the resistance going sideways, and then have some sideways movement for a while, and then push to the upside after a while, possibly. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking at. It looks like we're still holding support on this area, right around that 9 moving average. And if we can kind of go sideways for a while, maybe we could break that resistance. But the other thing, if we switch over the weekly time frame, the weekly 9 moving average, let's go ahead and look at that. We have this blue line right here, the 9 moving average on the weekly time frame. It's clearly above us right here. So I keep talking about, I mean, it's not impossible that we come up and break it and start pushing up, but what I would like for it to do is for us to go sideways for a while, let the 9 moving average come down a little bit, and then break through it, kind of ease into it and break it going sideways, as opposed to having to like push up right now and then hit it right here and then maybe get rejected on it. So that's kind of what I'm like thinking, is we might have to go sideways for a while before the 9 moving average comes down, and we're able to break through it and then find support on it and then push to the upside. That's just what I'm kind of thinking, gut levels, should I say. But yeah, let's see what happens. If we break the support going to the downside, then I'll start looking at this bottom again. Like I said in yesterday's video, or what I was thinking, let's go back to the 4-hour time frame. Let's delete this real quick though. What I was saying yesterday, because we broke this resistance right here, or support, should I say? We had a support. We broke it going to the downside. The target going to the downside, I would say, is the bottom down here, and or this wick down here, which is .1538, and then down here is around .142. So those are kind of the levels I'm looking at going to the downside if we continue to push up. But yeah, in the smaller time frame, kind of looks like a little ascending, broadening channel. That's what it's called, broadening channel. Something like this, in my opinion, where we have this top right here, top, and then support, but it's basically in a channel pattern, but it's getting wider and wider. That's what I'm kind of thinking anyways. So, and like basically we're waiting for stuff to happen. We're either waiting for it to break to the downside, breaking the support, and then kind of moving down here to these targets, or we are waiting for it to break to the upside and then break this resistance as well. But like I said, even if we break that resistance, we might be going sideways for a little bit. I noticed back here, let's go ahead and let's see, what was it? Oh, I noticed back here when we were in this sideways action that we had this big run to the upside. I set up the Fibonacci retracement from the bottom of the run to the top of the run, but we were like, if you were paying attention to the Fibonacci retracement levels in this area, we came down, found support on that 78% level, bounced up, could have sold at 61% or even 50%, and then came back down, hit the 78% again, came up, hit the 61%, hit the 78%, almost came down, hit the bottom, and then bounced back up 78%, 61%, 78%. Basically, these levels act as support and resistance. Support, resistance, support, kind of. At least you could set limit orders on these levels. So limit order, take profits, limit order, take profits, limit order, take profits, limit order. So I kind of like this sideways action, honestly. Especially, I mean, and then same with even these Fibonacci retracement sequences, because it's a little more predictable. It's opportunities to take profit, because if you're like pushing to the upside, if you're breaking out of these Fibonacci retracement areas and you're just pushing up, you don't really know where it's going to stop. Like when we broke out of this one over here, it was kind of hard to tell when we were going to stop and you actually did want to take profits. I think back here we were setting up like a little like flag pattern, but it had trouble pushing to the upside, and then we had a trend line, something like this, and that's when we broke it going to the downside, and then this is when I ultimately decided to take some profits. But it was kind of a hard call to make, honestly. So my point is if there's low volume, we might be going sideways, and like I said, we might be going sideways for a while, but we might be coming it's not impossible for us to hit that 10-cent level and then maybe bounce in between something like that, or maybe bounce something like that, or I don't know. But I am watching the Fibonacci retracement levels and this bottom right here. And the way I got that is we had, like I said, we have a big run. We get the Fibonacci tool, we drag from the bottom to the top, and then that gives me those levels to keep an eye on. And like I said, they will act as support and resistance. And when we break one going to the downside, then I look at the next one, which is why I've been looking at 10 cents, is because we broke the 78% level on this run. Like I said, we have a run, we have trouble at the top, we get the Fibonacci retracement tool, and then it gives us levels to dollar cost average, etc. But what I like doing, or what I'll use them as, is if we break one going to the downside, then I'll look at the next one for a limit order, and the next one is around 10 cents. That's why I've had my eye on 10 cents for a while now. And yeah, so let's see. But if we break it going up, then I look at the next one going to the upside as like a place to possibly take profits. So right now we're underneath the 78% level. Let's say if we could break it, then we can start looking at the next Fibonacci retracement levels going to the upside. And if we break it going to the upside, we might be breaking out of this pattern as well, something like that. So that's just kind of some of the things that that's been on my mind. Like I said, though, the other thing that I've been watching closely is the volume, and we're not getting a lot of volume in general. So it's seems like it's kind of playing tricks right now. Let's see what happens. It's hard to tell. Are we going down? Are we going up? It's hard to say. I have a position right here, and I'm kind of thinking of a limit order down here still, just to be on the safe side. If we break that resistance, or if we start breaking resistances, like we have this resistance on the 4-hour, and then we have that bigger resistance on the daily time frame. If we start breaking these, then I'll be less confident on going down this far, and maybe going sideways. I don't know. Like I said, it's kind of confusing, but these are some of the things that I'm looking at for signs. Like we have these two lines. If we break it going up or break it going down, then that's like a signal that we might be going in either of those directions. And that's kind of what I'm looking at just in the shorter time frame. Let me know what you guys are thinking, though. If you guys like the video, hit the thumbs up. If you guys are looking, or if you want to watch the last video, check it out right here. And if you're new to trading, check out this playlist right here. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.